Hello, my name is Ioana and I'm a student in 10th grade. Dionysius of Halicarnus once said, "Let a speech be better than silence or be silent." I want to tell you how I chose to be silent, even if I felt it in my heart that my words were so much better than that. Today I decided to put an end to my silence, because being afraid is less important than what I have to tell you. So here it is. To be honest, I was utterly scared to come here and speak in front of you. I had this voice inside my head that kept telling me that I was going to fail and make a fool of myself. When we are young, we have opinions about everything, and the majority of us aren't afraid to speak up. And for those who know me, you probably won't believe me, but I was one of those kids. And I honestly don't know when or why, but I eventually gave up speaking my mind. I remember that one time I was talking with someone and they told me, "You can't make mistakes in art." And my answer was, "But what if I want to draw a circle and I end up making a square?" And they just laughed, probably amused of what a 6-year-old was thinking. But I didn't get an answer back then. Then I grew up and I started to admire this famous artist named Bob Ross. And what I liked most about him, besides the fact that he was extremely talented and he was never afraid to express himself, was the fact that he answered the question I asked 10 years ago. He said, "We don't make mistakes, only happy accidents." And that phrase stuck with me because I realized he wasn't talking about art. He wasn't talking about circles and squares, but he was talking about life. He was talking about the fact that we let good ideas slip away because we are afraid of failure. But what we don't think about is the fact that it's not a failure if we learn something from it. I realized that you will eventually have to face your fears. There is a Romanian saying that goes something like, "You can't run from what you're afraid of." And I think that it's better to take the initiative sooner rather than find yourself in an overwhelming position. I know that you are looking at me now and thinking that it's easier said than done. Well, believe me, I know, because it was so hard for me to build up the courage to sign to TED clubs and come speak in front of you. I remember that last year I was listening to my classmate's speech and I said to myself, "I can do this, you know?" I realized that I deserved to be heard and I was no longer going to let my fear bring me down. So I made my first step. Now it's your turn to make your first step. So write that book, send that email, introduce yourself to that stranger. Draw that circle, and if it ends up being a square, you're really lucky, because believe me, you don't realize you needed to draw a square until you accidentally do it. Fears will always be around to tell you what you can't do. It's up to you to face your fears and tell yourself that you can. Thank you.